One of the largest hedge funds globally has literally just predicted XRP is going to be over $37 in days. This is insane, and the scale is because of the mass adoption that's unfolding, including financial institutions like Bank of America confirming that they will begin buying XRP. And the actual scans show that they're doing exactly that, purchasing XRP at scale, with a purchase order of over 100 million XRP already taken place. And guys, these are massive institutions, but we are not done, because Bank of America is only the start of this journey. You have a $13 trillion BlackRock institution and their CEO going live on CNBC and literally saying that XRP and crypto will replace the traditional financial system. This is insane. And you have JP Morgan and Canary Capital estimating an approximate $4 to $20 billion in inflows for their XRP spot ETF once it launches. Now, we are talking again billions, hundreds of billions, even trillions of dollars set to flow into the XRP ledger in such a short period of time. We're talking in weeks. And of course, as a result of that, the price will soar. And it's not just going to come from institutional adoption. So again, you've seen Bank of America, you've seen BlackRock, you've seen JP Morgan, but it's also on a globalized level of central banks across the world. Like this, for example, the global central bank analyst of Germany says XRP is no longer just a coin, and it's evolving into the bridge layer for global banking. And you have to understand that there's a massive introduction of over $1 billion acquisition that Ripple just did into G Treasury, which is a management software that already has over 13,000 plus banks within their ecosystem. So it's very easy for Ripple to just transition the entire payment infrastructure to actually use XRP instead of the current system, and cause over 13 plus banks to simultaneously switch towards using XRP, resulting in a major supply shock for the XRP cryptocurrency. But again, they don't want to talk about it, and they don't want to tell you, because it wants to kind of be dominated by these massive global elites before they actually tell anybody. The price will soar, and it will really be too late. But again, it's not one central bank. Here's another example. The Central Bank of Ireland has officially approved XRP for use in payments. Guys, this is happening, and it's happening a lot quicker than you imagine. We've also seen reports that the Switzerland Bank, the Bank of Switzerland, also planning to use XRP. And even in America, the United States of America, their payment infrastructure, we've seen that through Eric Trump and Donald Trump and, the entire, Federal Reserve there, basically talk about XRP and emphasize how XRP is more efficient and how their current payment system needs to be more modernized. Meaning we're likely going to see the shift of payments begin being facilitated for the Central Bank of America, for the Federal Reserve, for the debt, using XRP. And the Bank of America introduction really marks a massive milestone, because it shows you that banks in America are starting to shift towards that, exactly like we had expected. Alright guys, so as we delve deeper and deeper into XRP and the true price of XRP and why XRP is set to unveil to over $37, and this is insane. It's been covered by one of the largest hedge funds in all of the world. But the concept here is, I want to remind you guys to like the video, subscribe, share, because it helps out the channel and it boosts the channel to let more people know about XRP, so that we get more activity, more volume, and obviously more globalized adoption for the XRP ledger. So make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, and let's get right into the video. So the XRP ledger is about to accumulate trillions of dollars. In fact, the US national debt just reached an all-time high of about 39 or 38 trillion dollars. A huge milestone. But think about it like this. XRP and Bitcoin with a fixed supply literally protect you against the main thing that debt is causing. That is inflation. Because they have a very fixed supply, there's not enough of XRP to go around, specifically with the problem that they're facing, a multi-trillion dollar problem. Institutions want them, banks want them, and now even central banks are looking towards using them and integrating them within the system. And while Bitcoin is also very great, Bitcoin has a lot of flaws. For example, it's very slow, so institutions don't want to use it. It's very expensive for gas fees. Again, institutions don't want to use it. And so when you look at it at scale, facilitating payments, doing all the transactions, the only thing that you could use is XRP. In fact, XRP's own founder literally came out publicly. We're talking David Schwartz, which all came out literally saying that XRP was built to be a world reserve currency and to facilitate payments with that purpose. And so when you look at XRP, it could solve this massive debt problem and the massive problem of inflation. And it goes so much so that Ripple's own CEO, Brad Garlinghouse, literally says that XRP is positioned to surpass Bitcoin. That is insane, because you got to take a look at the Bitcoin market cap, which is trillions of dollars. But why is that? Well, because the ISDA, known as the International Settlements and Derivatives Association, is actually about to unlock access to about $1.5 quadrillion market onto the XRP ledger and using XRP. In fact, you need to listen to this video yourself, so listen closely.
XRP and the performance of XRP compares with Bitcoin. Bitcoin today, as was said earlier, Bitcoin in many ways has been a successful experiment, but not when it comes to payments. The throughput of Bitcoin, both in terms of to confirm a transaction, often can take an hour. I think Tavis said earlier, you're not going to use Bitcoin to buy coffee unless you want to wait there an hour for it to confirm the transaction. And then the transaction cost would be pretty high. So your Bitcoin XRP and the performance.
Now take a look at this. Trump just officially signed a bill unlocking trillions into the US economy and American cryptocurrencies. And obviously the leading cryptocurrency is XRP. It is in fact the #1 American cryptocurrency out there. And this is where we are introduced to a massive $654 trillion market that is about to unfold on the XRP ledger, and it's all happening using the Real token, which is actually a project built on the XRP ledger. And this is what makes things just so much better. Take a look at this. This is the Real token, and I'm going to show you guys it right now. This project went from 1/100th of a penny to literally over almost 3 cents, and it's only just started doing the break-even. Guys, they're not even yet listed on centralized exchanges, yet it grows with over about 2,000 or 3,000 holders. Insane just in the last 2 months. And again, I think they've only been live for about 2 months. But even then, there's very strong support, massive support, very low resistance. This thing could literally break at any moment. And once it does, millionaires are going to be made almost instantaneously, because it has a very low supply of only phase 1 supply of 22 million. You guys have to understand what 22 million means, 22 million Real tokens. Just so you get this comprehensively, 50 billion is the total supply of Stellar XLM. 100 billion is the total supply of XRP. So imagine the Real token 22 million, if only like 1% of the $650 trillion goes into the Real token, we're looking at $65,000 per Real token. It's insane how bullish, and this is why you guys gotta understand that I got myself a nice juicy bag of Real token. Because obviously this is massively bullish, just huge. And the profit that could be made on this thing is going to be insane. This is like getting Bitcoin. It was sitting at $1 very early, and then it's skyrocketing to 100,000. Guys, this thing is not even listed on centralized exchanges. The other demand is insane, and it's only on the XRP ledger. Take a look at this, guys. It's received a score equivalent to XRP, XLM, all the top projects. 10 out of 10 score. Top 3 holders, low risk. Bennett scores 100%. KYC score is 100%, and total wallets 3,471. We're talking about mass globalized expansion of the Real token, and it's happening in real time right in front of our eyes. So again, I'm not a financial advisor, it's not financial advice, always doing research, but you gotta do your research on this. This is the next 1,000x or 10,000x project at the very least. Specifically, if it gets us on centralized exchanges, we probably will see this skyrocket into the hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. Like real world asset projects right now are priced in the hundreds of billions of market cap. Real token is not even in the millions. That's the reality. When you take a look at this, this is still a tiny project. Again, when we're talking about 2 to 3 months old, that is nothing. And the expansion though is huge. This is why I'm extremely bullish on this project, and this is why I'm dollar cost averaging getting a bag. I told you guys this a couple days ago that this right now, the price we are at, stabilizing at, is the lowest we are going to get historically. I don't think we're going to get any lower than this, and we've seen the common trend where it never actually goes below what it's previously got to. It's always higher, and so we are going to get a breakout, and it's probably going to happen in the next couple of days, if not next couple of hours, and it's going to be huge. And then it's going to be too late. You will have, missed the train. The train would have left the station. Guys, make sure you do your research. Make sure you look into this project. I mean, this is generational wealth that we're talking about. For you, for your kids, for your family. I mean, this is bullish. And so guys, again, I'm going to conclude the video here, but before I do that, I want to show you guys, so this is RealFi, the institution actually utilizing and backing the Real token. I mean, these guys actually unlock the ability for you to buy real estate using the Real token, which is insane. You can literally use the Real token. And so this is why, again, I'm very bullish on it. It's a real world asset, utility based. You can actually transact with it. I mean, it doesn't get more bullish, and it's backed by massive institutions like, for example, RealFi, and there's also speculation that they are actually partnered with Ripple, which is, again, another massive deal. So PayRealFi.com, I'll be leaving the links all down below in the description. You can also, if you want to get yourself a nice bag of Real token or just do your research, I recommend doing your research. Again, non-financial advisors, non-financial advisors doing research, but if you want to do your research, you can check it out. Again, the links will be down below in the description. You can look into the Real token. But as always, I just caught myself a nice bag of Real token. I also added a bit of XRP to my portfolio because, again, I'm very bullish, and I do think, again, if you take a look at the market's massive retracement right now, but I think we're going to get a massive breakout coming for Real token and for XRP. Both of them are on the XRP ledger, which is just absolutely insane. It's very bullish, and I'm very happy about it. But I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.